It was reported yesterday that the first PBC on Prime event will take place on March 30th and will be a pay-per-view. And people have been speculating on which PBC fighter will be the one to headline this event, the kickoff event for their deal with Prime. Now, PBC currently has both of the biggest stars in the entire sport of boxing on their stable right now. One being Canelo Alvarez and the other being Gervonta Tank Davis. Well, we can cancel out Canelo for this date because we know Canelo's dates every year are in May for Cinco de Mayo weekend and in September. So most people are assuming that this card in March will be headlined by Gervonta Tank Davis. And if you look at posts around Tank's team, it looks like they're gearing up and getting ready to go in camp. You know, Stacey Selby, one of Tank's teammates, posted that he just had a fight. He's now 5-0 with 4 knockouts, and that he's already getting ready to go back into camp for a fight in March, presumably on Tank's undercard. Now, naturally, if we're hearing Gervonta Davis is going to have a fight, we want to know, and people are going to start speculating who the opponent's going to be. And this is where the BS comes into play. You know, we haven't seen a fighter hated more than Gervonta Davis since Floyd Mayweather retired. All the hate that people had because they didn't get to see Floyd lose, all of that got passed down to Tank. He got that hate plus some more. So every step of the way, people are working to discredit him. He don't get no credit for what he's accomplished. And if you're a fan of Tank, people will tell you you're not a fan of the sport of boxing. You're a fan of a fighter, you're not a fan of the sport. Just because you disagree with them and you could recognize what's in your face and that you see something special in your face. And one of the biggest pushers of these narratives that try to downplay Tank and tear him down every chance they get, today they came out with a report saying that Gervonta Tank Davis will be fighting Jose Rayo Valenzuela. And this person claims that they have sources that confirm this to them, that Gervonta Davis' next fight will be against Jose Valenzuela. And I want to tell y'all a secret. I found out who the sources was. I know exactly who this person's sources is. Y'all want to know who it is? It's the hair and the crack of his ass where he pulled this bullshit from. This is more propaganda against Gervonta Davis to push a narrative that he doesn't want to fight tough competition and he takes easy fights. This is all this is. I can guarantee y'all, when this fight gets announced, that Gervonta Davis will be not fighting Jose Valenzuela. I can guarantee y'all that right now with no sources. And if I'm wrong and the fight does get announced and he is fighting Rayo, I'm going to make another video telling y'all to leave y'all cash apps in the comments, and I'm going to pick one of y'all to send some money to. But it's not going to happen because he's not fighting this dude. Now, if you're not familiar with Rayo is 13-2, 9 knockouts. He's trained by, or he was trained by, I don't know if he is anymore, but the father of David Benavidez and Jose Benavidez Sr. And for a minute, Rayo was one of the hottest prospects in boxing, especially on the PBC stable, until he ran into Edwin De Los Santos. And Edwin De Los Santos knocked him out in the 3rd round. And then he fought Chris Colbert. And he dropped a split decision to Chris Colbert. I think it was a split decision, I'm not sure. But he lost a decision to Chris Colbert. Then he just rematched Chris Colbert not too long ago and knocked him out. Brutally knocked Chris Colbert out in one of the knockouts of the year last year. Nothing about what Rayo has going on right now points to him getting a fight with Gervonta Tank Davis. He's basically coming off back-to-back proven fights against another PBC prospect coming off their first loss. You know, him and Chris Colbert were both coming off losses, and PBC threw them together, basically saying, one of y'all the real deal and one of y'all ain't. Let's find out. I doubt the PBC will pick a fighter coming out of that situation to match up with their biggest star, and Gervonta Tank Davis. Now, if it was the Rayo that was one of the hottest prospects in the game at one point, and he got through Edwin De Los Santos, and then he got through Chris Colbert, yeah, I could potentially see the fight being made. But I don't see Tank or his team making the fight with Rayo right now, unless it's a tune-up. You know, Tank been out the ring since April when he fought Ryan Garcia. This event is scheduled for March, so that would be 11 months out the ring. If it is him headlining this card, that would be 11 months for Tank out of the ring. So maybe, I guess, do the same thing with Hector Garcia and Ryan Garcia where they announced a 2-fight deal with Rayo as a tune-up. Maybe I can see that happening. But in my opinion, it's even better tune-ups out there. And that's no disrespect to Rayo, but they just on 2 completely different levels. You know, if Rayo was going to fight anybody that got anything to do with Gervonta Davis, if I had my pick, it would be Malik Warren. Malik Warren and Rayo is a more realistic and a better fight and better matchup than Rayo and Gervonta Davis. And I will pick Malik to beat Rayo. And that's Tank's little bro. So there's no reason for this fight to be made, which is not. I'm telling y'all it's not. If I had my pick, the person that put this news out there actually agree with when they said this, that their pick for Gervonta Davis's next fight would be Frank Martin. I agree with that. I'm hoping it's Frank Martin. And Frank just posted alluding that he has a big fight coming up, so it could potentially be Tank. You see, he said he's taking it to the ceiling, and we know Gervonta Davis, it don't get no higher than Gervonta Davis. So hopefully that's the fight we getting. Like I said, I guarantee y'all that Gervonta Davis is not fighting Rayo. This is fake news. This is more propaganda to downplay Gervonta Davis and downplay his opposition. You know, this person said Rayo fits the bill. He's flat-footed, and he just comes forward like all the rest of Tank's opponents, which is cat, but we'll see. And like I said, if I'm wrong, I'm going to tell y'all I'm wrong. I've never had a problem telling y'all I'm wrong before. If I'm wrong and it comes out that Tank's fighting this dude, y'all ain't going to hear me trying to defend it, saying it's a good fight, whoop-de-whoop-de-woo. Nah, none of that. That'd be a bullshit fight. And as a Tank fan, we shouldn't accept Tank fighting Rayo. Rayo is ass. No, I'm tripping. Rayo not ass. Rayo can fight, but he not on Tank level. That's not a fight that we should be getting right now. At all. But that's what I got for y'all. I'm out.